Welcome to Magazine News and Gossip, your ultimate destination for everything happening in the world of celebrities. Have you ever wondered what truly happens behind the camera on a set? What if a single performance, one moment of raw emotion, could completely shift the dynamics between two stars? Have you ever felt the invisible tension in the air when one actor suddenly shines brighter than the other, sparking admiration and perhaps something more? Buckle up, because today's story is going to take you on a roller coaster of emotions and revelations. You don't want to miss this. Let's dive in. It was supposed to be just another day of filming on the set of Esrefria, a show known for its captivating storytelling and stunning performances. The cameras were rolling, the crew was hustling, and the usual hum of preparation filled the air. But what no one knew was that this particular day would be different. It all began with a single moment, a moment that no one on set would ever forget. Demet Özdemir, a force of nature on screen, walked onto the set with a different energy that day. It wasn't just the usual determination that she carried with her, it was something more. Something that would soon shake the very foundation of the set. She had a script in hand, her eyes glowing with a fierce focus and a quiet intensity that spoke volumes. Nobody, not even her co-star Çağatay Ulusoy, could have anticipated the impact she was about to make. As the cameras started rolling, the crew fell into an intense, almost reverential silence. Demet's character was about to deliver a monologue, one that would demand every ounce of her emotional range, one that would make her audience feel every word, every tear, every pause. The scene was simple, yet charged with an emotional weight that could break anyone who wasn't fully immersed in the role. Demet, however, didn't just play the part, she became the character. And then, as her words flowed from her lips, the transformation was complete. What the viewers saw was no longer Demet Özdemir the actress, it was her character in its rawest, most vulnerable form. Every tear seemed to carve into her soul, every breath felt like an eternity, and when the last word left her mouth, there was a stillness that hung in the air. No one moved. No one spoke. The entire set was frozen in time. It took a few moments before the silence was broken by a wave of spontaneous applause. The crew, the assistants, the director, who was known for being hard to impress, stood in awe of what they had just witnessed. Demet had transcended her role and delivered something extraordinary. This wasn't just acting, it was pure magic. But amidst all the admiration, one person's reaction stood out. Çağatay Ulusoy, Demet's longtime co-star. He was frozen in place, his lips parted, his gaze unwavering. He had seen Demet perform countless times, but today, something was different. His eyes, filled with a mix of awe and something else, something far harder to define, refused to leave her. It was a look that spoke volumes. He didn't even have the words to express his feelings, not yet. For the first time in their partnership, there was a shift, a palpable, almost unspoken distance between them. The dynamic on set had changed, and no one, not even Demet herself, could have predicted how profound the shift would be. As the days went on, it became increasingly evident that Demet's performance had caused more than just a stir. It had reshaped the entire atmosphere of the show. While the crew was buzzing about her delivery, her impeccable emotional depth, and how she had taken the character to new heights, Çağatay remained silent. On the outside, he remained the professional actor he always was, but deep inside, his ego was bruised in ways he hadn't expected. For years, Çağatay had been the leading man. He was used to the spotlight, used to the admiration, and used to being the one everyone looked to for validation. But now, Demet had eclipsed him, and although he knew it was deserved, it was hard to swallow. Her talent had created a new reality on set, a reality where he wasn't the only star anymore. And it stung. As the crew continued to praise Demet, Çağatay felt like an outsider in his own world. The applause she received was not just for her performance, it was recognition of something bigger, something that took everyone by surprise. Demet was no longer just an actress. She had become a force that everyone had to reckon with. But here's the twist. Demet didn't want any of this. She wasn't seeking attention. She wasn't trying to steal the spotlight. All she did was perform with her heart, giving everything to the character she portrayed. And yet, her light was so brilliant that it overshadowed everyone around her, whether she intended it to or not. It was a lesson in how raw talent, when unleashed, can shift the balance in unexpected ways. One day, during a particularly intense scene, the director singled out Demet in front of the whole crew. "This," he said, "is how you build a character." The room erupted in applause, and once again, Demet's performance became the talk of the day. But in the midst of it all, Çağatay's gaze was fixed on the floor. It was a subtle but clear sign. His discomfort was no longer something he could hide. Days turned into weeks, and the tension only deepened. The chemistry between Demet and Çağatay had always been electric, but now there was a new, invisible barrier between them. It wasn't just the fans who could see the difference, it was everyone on set. The playful banter that once flowed effortlessly between takes had become strained, the casual camaraderie replaced by a palpable sense of distance. Behind closed doors, whispers began to spread. The writers, noticing how Demet's performance had elevated the show, started adjusting certain scenes to give more weight to her character. While this was expected, after all, the storyline had to reflect her growth. The impact on Çağatay's morale was undeniable. The attention, once his to command, had shifted elsewhere, and he was left struggling to find his place in the shadows of someone else's brilliance. One evening, during a dinner with a cast and crew, someone raised a glass to the talent that is exciting us in every scene. The entire room turned to look at Demet, and while she graciously accepted the praise, her humility shining through, Çağatay quietly excused himself from the table. That was the moment when the cast realized something had shifted in the dynamics of the set. What happened that day wasn't just about acting, it was about how talent can create rifts, how the brightest stars can cast shadows, and how egos can be both fragile and resilient. Demet Özdemir had unintentionally triggered a transformation, not just in her character, but in the world around her. She hadn't set out to outshine anyone, but her performance did so effortlessly. And in that moment, Çağatay Ulusoy was faced with a harsh reality, sharing the spotlight with someone who, in the blink of an eye, had become a star in her own right. Will the balance be restored? Will Çağatay find a way to reclaim his place in the spotlight? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Demet's performance was a turning point. It marked the exact moment when talent went beyond the screen and reshaped the reality of the set itself. Thank you, dear followers, for staying with us through this incredible journey behind the scenes. Make sure to subscribe to magazine news and gossip to stay updated with the latest in celebrity news, share this video, and activate notifications to be the first to know when new videos drop. Stay tuned, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.